Hello, welcome to Country Sports TV. I've just got a copy of a new bill going through Parliament to totally ban lead shot. Now this is only a bill going through the House of Lords, a private member's bill. It's passed its first reading. We have got to stand up on our own. We cannot rely on our shooting organisations. They've already signed up to a lead ban for game shooting. So what are they going to do with this bill? How can they defend it if they've already done that? We as individual shooters have to take up our pen and write to our MPs to try and kill this bill, as they say. Not an expression that's good for a shooter in this case, but we've got to kill the bill. This bill is a total ban on lead ammunition. Boomf. For animals and for target shooting. Steel is not as good as lead. It's one of the points you can make to your MP. It's going to result in more wounded birds. I'm getting anecdotal evidence come in saying that gamekeepers are picking up wounded pheasants on game shoots that have been shot with steel, and they festered and they are dying of disease. That's inhumane. I think steel shot should be banned, as it's inhumane to shoot animals with steel if you wound them. What happens to steel when it meets blood? It rusts, and when it rusts, it causes infection and bacteria can get in, causing the animal stress. Second point is, steel is not as good as lead. I'll keep making that point through this video. If I say it more than once, forgive me. You also want to point out to your MP, one thing, don't copy and paste somebody else's letter. Do the letter in your own words. If you want to write it or email it, no problem. But please make the following points. 1, steel is not as good as lead. 2, you can't use steel in Damascus barrels. I don't say that. The shooting organisations say that. If a gun is proofed for steel shot and it's got the fleur-de-lis on it, you should be able to use steel on it, even if it's Damascus barrels. But that's another argument. It's not what we're doing. We will tell the MP that we can't use steel. And if you've got old guns, hammer guns or muzzle loaders, lead is the best thing to use. What's going to happen to the environment with all this steel being flown around? You know, what's going to happen to clay shoots and the fallout? It's going to be an environmental disaster. Lead shot is not a problem. We've got the science to prove that. You know, Norway has just repealed the lead ban for game shooting and repealed the lead ban for wildfowling as well, because they say the science could not be proven that lead is a problem. Steel rusts, causes pollution a lot quicker than lead would. Lead takes about 2,000 years to break down, and it's all according what environment it's in to the length of time the lead breaks down. Some lead doesn't break down at all. Lead is more environmentally friendly to use than steel. Now, write your letter in your own words. Explain that steel isn't as good. I've said it again, you see, steel isn't as good as lead. Right? Also explain that the alternatives are too expensive, bismuth and tungsten. If you're a pigeon shooter and you shoot a lot of cartridges and you're doing pest control for farmers, explain that the cost of bismuth. Explain that steel isn't really as good as lead, and you don't really want to use it. But bismuth and tungsten are too expensive for pest control. You're not going to pay £25 a box to go pigeon shooting. Well, I'm not anyway. I couldn't afford it. You know, £250 for a case of cartridges at the moment. You're talking about a lot of money for a case of cartridges. You know, how many cartridges do you use on a good pigeon shooting day? At least a case, 250. You know, you're not going to be able to afford bismuth for that, the average guy in the street. If you're game shooting and paying £2,000, £6,000 for a day shooting, £25 a box for a box of bismuth, no problem to you. But the ordinary guy in the street, the rough shooter, the pigeon shooter, he can't afford the money at £25, £40 a box for bismuth, all according to what type you buy. So, let's stop this bill in its tracks. Write to your MP, explain why you don't want a total lead ban. You know, why do you want a lead ban for target shooting? What's going to happen with muzzleloaders? It's not been thought through. It's easily to fight it. We got the science and logic on our side. But unfortunately we're fighting environmental extremists. The WWT and BASC itself. I can't fight it on my own. We all need to do it together. I'll fight where I can, but I'm just one guy on my own. We need a shooting organisation to stand up and be counted. Any shooting organisation that's willing to stand up and be counted, I will join them. I am not a member of any shooting organisation at the moment. I can't justify giving my money to any organisation that wants a lead ban for game shooting. It is not in our interests. We're already seeing old shotguns, Damascus barrel guns, the price has dropped. I got a load in the workshop here. Cheap, second-hand hammer guns. Can't sell them. Nobody wants them, can't use steel in them. It's going to decimate the gun trade. People are saying, oh, people will go out and buy new guns. Look at the economy at the moment. We've got hyperinflation. People will not have the money to buy new guns. To sustain the gun trade, we've got to make shooting affordable to all. Do you understand that? We have to make shooting affordable to all. Anyway, good luck writing to your MP. And if you want any information, if you want a copy of the bill, I've put a copy of it on the Save Our Lead shop on Facebook. And if you want a discount for shooting insurance, try Country Covers Shooting Insurance. If you use my code, and I'll put the code in the description below, you get a £3 discount. Ian, Country Sports TV, signing off.